Hey, I'm Jeff, and I make music with my brother.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, and I also make music with my brother.
Together, we are Ekko Sidetrack, and we make music that sounds like this.
And this.
And even this. This podcast is about music, creativity, and everything in between.
Welcome to A Band Apart with Ekko and Sidetrack. Today's podcast is brought to you by our friends at Short Order Burger. When I want a burger, I want it quickly. I don't want to be the guy standing in line getting hangry with a bunch of other hangry people. So I'm going to download the new Short Order ordering app and use it to order and skip the line when I pick up my order today. It's straightforward to use, and by becoming a member, you can actually earn points for every purchase. For every $1 you spend, you'll earn 10 points, which can be used for special offers or in-app credit. And if you're getting weekly burgers, my friends, that could be quite a lucrative amount of points. Go download it in the App Store today and take advantage of it. And as always, don't forget to say the code word Ekko and Sidetrack at checkout in store for 10% off your order. Big up.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you, Jonathan.
100 episodes?
Yeah, I think this is 100 episodes.
Wow. A journey that started when it was COVID. And now it started in London, and now it started when I was in London, and now we're both in London.
Yeah.
Looking out onto the expansive field of dreams that is North London, aka a set of terrace houses.
Yeah.
And a tree.
Shout out to the Dalston Massive.
Shout out to the Dalton Massive. Dalton. Timothy Dalton lives here, everyone.
We're in Timothy Dalton's house.
We're friends with Timothy Dalton.
Imagine.
One can dream. Jeff, we haven't recorded a podcast in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we've taken a holiday.
Which we don't normally do.
Yeah, but it's really cool. I'm really glad we have. And do you feel suitably holidayed?
I do. I think I feel kind of breathing quite. I feel.
Sorry, I'm a bit out of practice.
I feel quite. Yeah, I do.
Great podcasting.
No,
it's been great to have you.
I feel. I do feel quite holidayed. I think I'm quite exhausted. Like
you just had a nap as well, so you're like over sleepy.
It's not the sleepy. I think I had a nap today because we haven't worked out for about 2 weeks, and we went and did an F45 class at Haggerston F45.
Shout out to the Haggerston Massive.
Shout out to Michael. And it fucked me up. Like after 2 weeks of basically just drinking every day, eating loads of bread.
And pastries.
And then going to do exercise. And, you know, F45 is pretty intense. It just zonked me. But I do feel like I've had a holiday and I've had relaxation time and I have suitably unwound, I think. There's still some time that I want to have just kind of doing nothing, like truly doing nothing. I don't think I've had that yet. James and I have been doing some house moving and some organization stuff, and I think I want some just nothing time.
How do you define the doing of no thing?
The doing of no thing is not feeling guilty about reading a book all day.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Or sitting and tinkering creatively or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's still work. Doing nothing is something not with no goal in mind. That's the good thing about a book. You can just start reading it and you don't have to get it finished. You don't have to have something. There's like you just start it and then stop it at a certain moment. I guess that's just my metric of measurement at the moment.
And there's also no way to shortcut it. It takes as long as it takes.
Yeah. And I think reading is definitely something that in my life I've traditionally done before I go to bed. And any time I've done it
like done it in the middle of the day, there's an element of guilt. And anytime you feel an element of guilt when you're doing nothing, I think that's almost something that you need to lean into more to practice it being okay that you're reading a book in the middle of the day. I think that's what being on holiday is about. And, you know, being away, we're away for so long that, of course, we're going to have work days. You know, tomorrow's going to be a work day. We're going into the studio with someone, and there's going to be more days like that. But it's important to also not ride ourselves. In my mind, for me, it's important not to ride ourselves the way we were riding ourselves when we were back home. And I don't mean like letting off momentum or anything like that. I mean, you know, we're on the other side of the world. It's okay to go and have some beers at night. Like, earn them, but have those moments of doing nothing or lazy Sundays or that type of stuff.
Yeah, I've been thinking a little bit about the doing of no thing, and I think I like doing no thing means to be able to do whatever I want, almost.
Yeah.
Like if I want to read a book, if I want to eat an apple, if I want to have a glass of wine, like I'm going to do the thing. If I want to go for a walk and go, we should stop here and have a drink. Or that looks like a good place to go. Can you go swimming in there? Like the ability to just be like, I want to go to there and then go there. Like there's no timeline.
No. And I think sometimes holidays can turn into a timelined situation. They can be like, oh, I want to go see the Louvre and the Arc de Triomphe and the Eiffel Tower, and I want to get my caricature painted. I'm describing basically the holiday that the family was going on in Home Alone. But like you can do all that and you do it all in one day, and it's like we did it all, but I feel like I was hustling and bustling and stressed out, and actually probably what I wanted to do was just sit on a outside dining area, which I've forgotten, al fresco area, smoke 3 cigarettes and drink a bottle of wine and watch the world go by.
Yeah, watching the world go by is a lovely, relaxing thing.
And I think we did that. I think we did a really good job of doing some of that in San Sebastian.
We did. It's a beautiful place. Highly recommend you going. I also think there's an element of fun with the relaxation, like doing something that's like novel and exciting, that's incredibly relaxing in some way because it's out of the ordinary.
Like what?
Again, like, you know, when we're in France, it's like, do you guys want to come to swim in the lake? Yeah? But there's a lake?
Yeah, it's
like,
that, yes.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
We can go swim in a lake.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Or that sounds even interesting. Or I have no idea if I'll swim, but I'm going to go because I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're at home, you've got a routine, which is helpful to get things done, but it does leave
not much room for
novelty.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's an element of relaxing.
Well, I think that's what a holiday is, right? Novelty.
Yeah. And being able to order 8 or 9 banana daiquiris whenever you like.
Fuck yeah. I'm going to eat a banana daiquiri. Drink a banana daiquiri maybe tonight. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm definitely not going to.
I've never had a banana daiquiri, but it sounds horrible. I think I've had a strawberry daiquiri.
I've had a banana daiquiri.
I might have that's the sound of the streets, the sound of the London streets. You can hear them in the
Timothy
background.
Dalton's grandchildren running in the street.
Ruthie, can you make me another Pimm's, please?
All the old James Bond live on this street.
Yeah.
Sean Conneris is down the way. David Mitchum just moved in across the street.
Do you think you're speaking slower on the podcast because you're so relaxed, or because your brain is?
Yeah, I think I'm more relaxed, and I think I always feel like with the podcast, whenever we record it, we're always, I think we talked about this last time, it's on a Thursday morning. It's before a day of the studio. I always feel like we end it with some sort of, all right, we're going to stop. And you're like, yep, there's things to do. There's always things to do. And we often talk about being busy and using these describing words to describe our life. But we don't have that same energy at the moment. It's like, we're going out for some drinks this afternoon and got some time. Let's record a podcast. We did a bit of work today. We're going to do some work tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
the pace of life is a bit slower, which is really nice. And it's also strange because we have to ramp it up and find our new routine while we're in London.
Mm.
I mean, you're going to go off on another holiday, which is going to be beautiful. And then you'll find your new routine when you come back. And then that, like, we're going to kind of maintain.
Maybe
that routine.
maybe life is simply finding lots of different new routines.
Yeah. Well, it's just having a routine and sticking to it wherever you are.
Yeah.
Adapting it. Like you were talking last night, or today, sorry, about how you and Holly had... Hey, Holly.
Hey, Holly.
She's here. She's actually in the other room. You and Holly had been going to bed quite late.
Oh, yeah.
Because the sun goes down
because
at
the sun goes
10 p.m. to you.
Yeah, the sun goes down at 10 p.m. and we're like, the sun is up. We should be doing stuff. And so we do a bunch of things, that specifically as well. And then we go, we're going to make dinner. And all of a sudden it's 8:30, then it's 9 o'clock, and then you doing the dishes and you want to watch a show because it's like wind down time. And then you go, whoa, it's 12 o'clock at night. So I think we're coming to grips with some of the timing of the UK particularly.
Mm.
In Spain, that's just how it worked. Everything's happening later. And I kind of didn't think it would happen back here, but it kind of has.
You have to get used to going to bed when it's still light.
Yeah, that's hard. I suppose that's the power of the eye mask, isn't it?
Yeah, and it kind of be like you just wind down. I mean, it's weird. I think the time is more, it feels like the afternoon's more stretched, but then the evening's quite short.
Yeah, like nighttime is short.
Like, I think work usually finishes up here after 6. Like a lot of people like start at 10 and work till 6.
Yeah.
Rather than 8 to 4. So it can feel like, yeah, let's go out for drinks and blah, blah, blah. And then the night gets like squeezed up.
Yeah.
I guess like with a routine for that, you just have to, whenever you wake up, try to wake up as early as you can and instantly exercise. Or like do the thing that you usually do wherever you are. Like I was thinking about people that travel for their work, but travel 300 days a year and are highly functional
Alcoholics.
business people or whatever.
These fax machines are not going to sell themselves.
How they maintain, like they just have to arrive in some random city and be like, cool, this is what I do.
Yeah. This is what we do.
This is what we do. It's been really fun. See you later. I'm just checking that it's recording.
Yeah. No, I'm also knackered from F45. I'm suitably relaxed. I'm a little bit tired. I'm kind of hot. But has anything over the last 2 weeks made you think about something you'd like to talk about on the podcast, Jonathan? You said something earlier about only annoying songs from TikTok.
Oh yeah. I'm finding myself using, like I'll know a song.
Such as?
What did I do? And I don't particularly like that I do it. Sometime in the last 2 weeks, I can't remember when, someone said like, oh no. And I go, oh no, oh no, oh no, no, no. It's just like a TikTok Reels thing. And I was like, what the fuck?
You've become a meme machine.
What was that? I don't even know the original
I recognize
song.
that you said a word that is similar to that meme that I recognized.
Gross. It's not part of me that I really registered.
Don't bring that energy to Ekko Sidetrack. Start your own side project called
But-
Meme Man.
But like, yeah, and then there's other songs that I think Holly said something before that I was like hummed the tune to, and I thought I only know 15 seconds of that song. Like I don't know any more of that song, and I don't know what the song's called, and I don't know what it is, but I know that song 100% from virality.
Yeah, I suppose that dovetails a bit into the whole resurgence of Kate Bush with Running Up That Hill, the song that everyone's.
Such a good tune.
It's a massive tune.
Who did the cover of it that's better than the original?
It's not better than the original, but I know there is a cover of it. It's very good.
It's about like 9 Inch Nails, maybe. I think. And there's like the piano is either that or
There's been a few covers of it.
either way. Sorry,
Sorry, the
resurgence of it.
resurgence of it is because of it was on Stranger Things.
Oh yeah,
So you've had the latest season of Stranger Things. So you've got a lot of people discovering it, which is quite cool to have it like blow up so much. And I saw a fact the other day that it's like one of only 5 songs to hit number 1 in the last, I don't know, X amount of years that has been like written, produced, and owns the masters of the artist.
Oh, so Kate Bush owns.
There's no
That's so cool.
co-writers. There's no producer. It's all her,
Amazing.
which is pretty sick.
It's also sick to think of the amount of royalty she's getting and got from not only the song being on Stranger Things, but the subsequent streaming and iTunes sales.
Yeah, but it's like that's how quick a song can just go from like being a hit with the fans to just being like crazy. But it's and virality.
I wonder if there's got to be a metric that's like length of time between number ones. So like a tune to be, I'm sure it was number 1 when it came out sometime in the 90s.
Hold my microphone. It came out in the 80s. I'm gonna Google that. Longest time between number 1s.
Okay.
Don't talk in both of that. The world will explode.
I'm going to go solo for a little bit. It would be interesting to know the length of time between number 1s. Like other songs that I can think that might have done it are like Michael Jackson songs that would come out and then they release like a greatest hits or like a remastered version of the song. Or there was a song by Empire of the Sun that got reused for I can't remember. Walking on a Dream. Walking on a Dream was a big tune. For those who don't know, sometime in the mid 2000s, mid to late 2000s, like 2008, 2009. And then maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it got reused for a commercial in a Super Bowl advert. And I think that blowing up, people were like, whoa, what the fuck is this tune? Then allowed Empire of the Sun to go back on tour and toured America off it, which is quite mad.
Yeah.
I think that story is full of holes, but that's pretty accurate.
According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the longest time between number 1s in America was 29 years and 153 days. That happened in January 2020 when Mariah Carey's chart topper "All I Want for Christmas Is You" spent its 3rd and final week at number 1, and it had done just the same thing in August of 1990. Before that, it was 27 years with a Cher song. So,
I'm glad it's happened to Kate Bush.
Yeah, so do I.
I feel like the OC would have been responsible for a bit of that kind of action as well.
Yeah, maybe. The OC pulled a bit more from like current underground rather than pulling.
Yeah, true.
So like
long.
classic. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
what's that? 40 years, 35 years.
Well done, Kate Bush. If you ever listen to this podcast,
Get in
Big
touch with
fan.
Timothy Dalton because do you reckon they've met? Kate Bush would have met Timothy Dalton.
yeah, I mean maybe, and like
It's a fun game to play. Famous people of certain eras
but
that met.
the furthest away from each other. I'd like to think Timothy Dalton has met Kate Bush.
Yeah.
Where's Kate Bush from? She's American. If she's English, there's more of a chance because I can see Timothy Dalton being at like a BAFTAs award after party, and I don't want to do an impression of him because he might walk through the door at any moment. But he could be, you know, that's the meeting that could happen at an after party.
Yeah,
Bumping into someone at the bar and like, oh, whoa, you're Kate Bush, and she's like, oh my goodness, you played James Bond
Bond.
3 times. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'd love to meet
Who would you love to meet, Jonathan? Who would you love to bump into on the streets of London
Bill Murray.
and have them? He'd be a classic.
Here,
And have them go. Yeah, man. Oh,
I've got nothing to do. Do you want to go get a beer?
yeah. Sorry, mate. I've got to get to 45.
Sure, I will. Who would I love to run into and have a beer with here?
Kenneth Branagh.
Big Kenneth Branagh fan. I mean, Ricky Gervais would be great. He wouldn't do it, but it would be great. But someone like, I can't believe I'm blanking on the name. I want to say Richard Harris.
Richard Ayoade.
Yeah. No, but I wasn't thinking of him. But yeah, Richard Ayoade or Russell Brand. But again, he's not drinking. But it doesn't have to be drink, but just to hang out with. Someone just interesting. You could do it.
I thought you were going to say me. I thought you were going to say love to bump in the streets.
I'm here with
hang
you
out
now.
with your friend Jeff.
I'm here with you now. We're doing it now. This is the penultimate.
Penultimate means second to last, I think.
Well,
Penultimate.
I've been using it very differently.
A lot of people do.
And I've been using a lot of different words for not their meanings, which shows my
adept skill at podcasting.
Who would you like to run into?
Wesley Snipes would be an interesting get.
In London?
Maybe. He's here shooting something.
That would be cool. Blade 4.
Maybe. It's happening.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford would be a big one. One of Meg's mates.
Hey Meg.
Has had some
Interactions with Harrison Ford.
interactions with Harrison Ford.
That'd be cool.
I believe it was a note slid to him or left in his jacket pocket when she was a child.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
What a beautiful story. It's we did run into someone the other day actually. So we went to Parklife on the weekend, which was very fun, and we got to see Fred again play and Bicep,
Dimension play.
Dimension and Prosper, and 50 Cent, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
Blast from the past. But we knew a few people playing, but like it was, and Tom Piper as well, which was quite cool.
Yeah.
We didn't have backstage access or anything like that, and it was quite difficult to contact people because there was no phone signal. So we didn't end up running into our friends Hybrid Minds, who we wanted to really see because we haven't seen them in a while. And then we're at the train station on Monday, and lo and behold, I look up, and Josh and Mike Temser are walking our way and haven't seen us. And we just walked right up and said, hey, and gave him a big hug, and it was quite beautiful.
That was a great little moment. Beautiful little piece of serendipity, so to speak.
But really, I mean, they had a train in like 15 minutes, and we got there like an hour early. Had we decided not to get there an hour early, we wouldn't have been able to get, like, we wouldn't have seen them.
Yeah. Yeah, we could have laid on the floor of that Airbnb for a little bit longer, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
But it's a damn good thing we didn't.
No, because we wouldn't be here otherwise. We'd be stuck in Manchester.
Yeah, which would be its own version of the podcast, I guess. Trapped in Manchester.
It'd probably become a football podcast pretty quickly.
It would, based on our extensive knowledge of God's game.
Languages, English being one of them, and football are Ekko Sidetrack's bread and butter.
Pudding.
Speaking of bread and butter pudding, what are you going to have for dinner tonight?
I think
Podcast is going down the fucking drain. I think Timothy's maid is bringing in some like a chartreuse board in a bit. So maybe we should call it quits and enjoy some Bramson's prickle. Branston's pickle.
Could we get a little bit of wine, a bit of extra wine? I think we go for another 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, if we get some wine, we're going to have to
ramp up the...
We're going to have to press record again. That's what we're going to have to do.
All right, we can do that. Well, just tell me a story. You know, things...
I do this all the time.
Well, it's because you just want to...
What a story. What I need to do is write out a few of my stories and have them
prepared for the podcast.
Well, yeah, just prepared, but also know which ones I'm going to say and which ones I can say. A lot of my stories, like I've said in the past, aren't particularly podcast friendly.
I think they're very podcast friendly. You just have to get comfortable with displaying that aspect on the podcast.
Yeah, that's true. I think I just want to figure out the ones. Even the one I told Holly like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's not podcast friendly.
But there's a few of those. I mean, yeah, there's fluids and stuff. It's whatever.
Have you done anything funny lately, buddy?
Trying to think. Most of my humor is so off the cuff that I don't remember it, and and that I play it by ear. I'm pretty
you don't read
visceral in that sense.
Cerebral.
I'm cerebro.
That's a good name for your meme man side project.
I don't know why you think I'm starting a side project.
Meme man.
I don't want to have a side project. I want to back out of the butcher shop, if you will, from, I want to back out of, if anything, back out of social media. Right?
What would you like to push into? You won't tell me a story. What would you like to push into? Or lean into, if you'd prefer the correct terminology.
Macrame?
Go on.
Or macramame?
Do you even know what macrame is?
Yeah, it's like a type of pasta that you make.
Macrame and cheese. I'll have 3.
There's a joke for you. See? Cerebral. It's coming out of... I'm not even writing this stuff, guys. I'm literally just taking it from...
Where are my sides? Line? Tim, I need the line. Is this even the 100th episode?
I don't know. I think so. But honestly, I've been pretty bad with my labeling of things. But I think it is the 100th episode. So we should say thank you so much for being around.
Give me a highlight of your 100th.
I think we're going to run out of room. We're going to run out of room here. How many more minutes? We've got 3 minutes. Okay. A highlight of...
Give me a short highlight.
Of the podcast?
Yeah. This may be episode 98.
I feel like we haven't uploaded one, though. We've got one we haven't uploaded.
When was it done?
I don't know, but let's...
You're really seeing behind the scenes.
This is what happens, people.
When you're on a goddamn holiday and you're relaxing so much.
Timothy's house just really brings out the rogue in me, I know. I might put on some bit of dark eyeshadow and seduce a person in a bar later. I don't know what I'm saying. I need a Vespa, both a drink and the motorized vehicle. So a highlight of the podcast might be...
I think it might be...
No, okay. No, a highlight for me is
30 seconds.
Having to grow and having these conversations every week, especially in 2020. I think they were quite grounding for both of us and quite enlightening. and has helped us on our personal growth.
I completely agree. And it's really been a highlight of mine to come together with my brother, someone I love so much, and kind of shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we just we do a lot of work and we also have a lot of fun, but it's, to lock into a conversation like
We
this.
often don't have these conversations without talking about work or logistics or something like that. And
Yeah.
it is really nice.
Yeah, and we don't talk about work at all.
No.
If you'd like to see us do some work, you can check us out at Liquidity Festival coming up. We're also playing at Rampage. We've got a show in Bournemouth on June the 25th, and there's some other shows being announced soon toward the end of July. If you'd like to get in touch, follow us on social media. If you'd like to follow Jonathan's new side project, Cerebro Meme Man, don't. It's not going to be very good.
Hey, it will be good, but it'll be hard to find.
That's how you go viral, by
Exactly.
being hard to find.
I'm going to lean into a new social media platform that Timothy's going to pitch to me later.
Let's go make a drink with Tim.
Okay. See you, buddy. Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too. See you later, guys.
Thanks for listening to this week's podcast. We are Ekko and Sidetrack on all social media. We've recently updated our YouTube. Go and give that a subscribe so you can keep up to date with all the latest video podcasts. And follow us on Spotify too so you can keep up to date with all our latest music releases. Big up.